Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new Doctor Who video. Who'd have guessed?
Not me.
And who'd have guessed after I said we're not expecting any news, no news will come out, I'm going to go on holiday and have a lovely time, that we'd get news, loads of news. Uh, oh, it's literally almost as soon as I went on holiday, they were like, oh, how about this?
Yeah, you should go on holiday again.
I know, it's
I want Matt
ridiculous.
Smith to come back.
You never know. It could be, I mean, I'm not going on holiday again till November, so you might have a bit of a wait, I'm afraid. Um, but yes, we will discuss the official announcements of last weekend or 2 weekends ago. We might touch on some of the set picks because they were obviously filming in Camden recently. We'll try and keep it as sort of spoiler free as possible for those of you that don't want to know anything. But obviously, warning, we might stray into it. So if you really don't want to know anything, don't risk it and don't watch. I think that's fair. I'll start with the first announcement, one that was obviously heavily rumoured. David Tennant and Catherine Tate are returning to the show. This is probably where the confusion around, is David Tennant coming back and playing a new Doctor? Is he coming back for the 60th? Is he doing both? Is he doing neither? Probably where it all came about. And Catherine Tate, obviously, that was also heavily rumoured. I don't think anyone ever thought she would be playing anyone other than Donna. I don't
No.
think that was ever hinted at. But yes, they are both back, and I believe they are just confirmed to be playing the Doctor and Donna. I don't know if they've specified David Tennant as the 10th Doctor.
I don't think they have.
Which might hint at certain things that might have been seen last week.
Yes.
But what do you think of them both returning to the show in whatever capacity?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting in, however it plays out, for better or worse, we may be mixed on the results in the end, but it's always going to be good to have David and Catherine back. I never thought we'd ever get Catherine back. So that's, I think, is hugely exciting. Russell T Davies taking over for the 6th anniversary and beyond. I'm like, well, if one thing's going to happen, we're going to get David Tennant back. That was kind of the given. So it makes sense that's one of the first things they confirm.
Yeah.
And, it had been months and months at this point of rumors that it was going to be him and Donna. So yeah, to get Catherine back as well, hugely exciting. I love the dynamic between the two of them in series 4. It's easily, I think, the best 10th Doctor companion pairing that we get. One of the best TARDIS teams in the new series. So even if it's a spin on that, I'm sure it will be fun to see those two bounce off each other. Regardless, two big names and two kind of icons of the era, really, to get back. It just makes sense, I would say, if you're going to celebrate an aspect of the show, that those two would be popular choices. So, it's kind of, particularly with Tennant coming back, it was, I think, a given.
Yeah.
But to have it confirmed and everything, it's still exciting because it has been, 10 years since he's been on screen. Once he shows up again, of course, because they're the Doctor and everything. So that's really cool. And I am excited to see what they do with it and exactly how the anniversary is going to go. Is it 3 specials? Is it just 1? We still don't know the details of that. There's been leaks and rumors of all sorts of stuff about, are they going to be in everything? Are they just going to be in 1 special if there's 3? Who can say? We'll probably get details in about a year. But until then, it's exciting to have some stuff to speculate on about the future of Doctor Who, seeing all the set photos and stuff. And it is just bizarre to think like we're back to 2007 watching set pictures come out of David Tennant and Catherine Tate filming Doctor Who. Getting madness that they're at it again. They're at it again. The rascals.
They can't keep getting away with this.
What are they like? But we're getting, at least we're getting Donna back, and we're getting David Tennant back for sure as well. Those are the certainties we have. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, I think no matter what David Tennant plays in this, I think he's still an actor of like one of the highest calibers that no matter what role you put him in the show, he's still a get for the show. If he was a guest star, you would probably be like, wow, how did they manage to get him? But obviously with him having the relationship with the show, it's probably pretty easy to convince him to come back. And I'm sure, there's been all sorts of rumors. I'm sure we'll get more than just David Tennant back for the 60th. As much as people on the internet are adamant to say, let's have all Russell stuff in the 60th. The show is 60 years old, and all 60 of those years should be celebrated, not just the 4 that Russell was involved in.
Yeah, from what we see so far, it does look like it's a 2008 special.
Yes.
But you know, if they are filming multiple specials and stuff, they've only just started the first one. If it's even the first one, you know, they might be filming completely out of order depending on who they need to get or whatever. There's going to be stuff filming inside that we just don't see. There's going to be loads of stuff kept under wraps. You know, for all we know, this is like 10 minutes of a special, and then you know, God knows what else is going to be happening on. They just die. They die 10 minutes in.
Could be, but that's it. Yeah, the only reason they really announced this was because they would be on set in a public space where people would be able to see. So they figured, to get ahead of anything else, we're just gonna say, hey, look, they're back. Don't be so shocked when you see them filming.
It's why they had to announce who they announced afterwards. So the next week.
And we'll come on to that now. Playing Rose, which caused quite a stir online because people
hashtag not my Rose time.
Yeah, people are idiots. Yasmin Finney of Heartstopper fame. Again, a show I've not seen. So I now have an excuse to go and watch the show. Because I've heard she's great in it. Has been cast as Rose. That's all we know about her character officially. That's all we know about her character. Quick spoilers for the, you know, again, if you want to, you know, not know anything, the set video and things has sort of hinted or pretty much revealed that she will be playing Donna's daughter. We can only assume.
She calls Donna mum in one of the clips, so I'm gonna guess that's
what it is.
Unless there's a big twist coming.
Yeah, unless it turns out the doctor is actually the mum of. You never know. You know, that might be why. But yeah, so that's sort of who she's playing. She's not playing, as far as we're aware, not playing Billie Piper's Rose Tyler. Just playing a new character called Rose. And as it was pointed out on Twitter today, Lee Mack and John Bishop both played characters called Dan about a year apart. So it's not unheard of, funnily enough, for people to have the same name.
Who would have thought it? Yeah, people actually have multiple. There were multiple people with the same name in the world.
I know, it's ridiculous. And, you know, I mean, it's the same people that were annoyed about Ncuti being cast as the next Doctor. Again, I won't say 14th because they didn't say 14th. They just said as the Doctor. So who knows? But the same people that were annoyed about that have been annoyed about this. We're not sure whether Yasmin's staying on past the 60th or not. You know, Ncuti did do a thing on Instagram where it might have hinted that they were co-stars, but then they know each other outside of the show, so they might just be...
They've definitely known each other for a few months anyway.
Yeah, so they might.
He's been cast for a few months, so who can say? Exactly. But I do think they're just maybe friends anyway.
Yeah. So what do you think of this casting? I think it's quite exciting, to be fair.
It's very exciting. I think she's fantastic. She's great at Heartstopper. You know, to have a transgender actress in a huge anniversary special for Doctor Who as well, not just in Doctor Who in general, which is great for representation and stuff and moving forward. You know, it's kind of the castings that I think are needed, but also expected when we saw that Russell was coming back and taking over and stuff. But yeah, if you haven't seen Heartstopper, it's wholesome as fuck. You know, it's an absolute delight, that show, and she's great in it. You know, I love her character in that. So I know she has the chops to do it, and I think Heartstopper was the first thing she ever did professionally. As a lot of the cast, it was the first thing they did professionally. So that is her, like, the first impression of her. Like, wow, you're really good, and you don't even, you know, you haven't learned so much more that you're going to learn yet. So I think it's only going to be better and better, you know, what she ends up doing. So yeah, I think she's definitely going to be going places. You know, Heartstopper's just been renewed for another 2 seasons, so she's got that in the bag as well as Doctor Who. So yeah, I think it's a really good bit of casting. Again, it had been rumored for a little bit before it was announced, so it's not like oh my god, I wasn't expecting this at all.
Yeah.
But it's cool again to get the confirmation, and they had to confirm it because we were seeing her on set. Exactly, what her role is in the 60th itself, and maybe beyond that, we'll have to wait and see. Who can say? But I am very excited to see her in Doctor Who because it's a really good bit of casting, a very relevant bit of casting, I think. So yeah, I definitely think that's another really good get. It's going to be, I think, one of those people that become massive in like 10 years time.
Yeah.
She'll be everywhere. And they're like, oh my god, you know, remember when she was in Doctor Who way back when? It's going to be like a Carrie Mulligan, Olivia Colman, Andrew Garfield kind of situation for sure with her, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what she does as Rose, but not Rose Tyler, people.
Yes, exactly. And then Rose Tyler might come back. And I think at this point, it would be good if Rose Tyler came back so they could be like, look, still there. Shut up. And then
to be fair, that's true. Yeah.
So
I'd be right with that.
But, you know, again, Billie Piper's probably thinks she's too big for the show, so I can't imagine she's coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. But yeah, I think it's great casting. I'm interested to see how much of a role she plays in the 60th, because we've only seen the one scene being filmed. That could be it. She could only be in that one scene, and then that could be, who knows. But obviously, because she is, kind of hot property at the minute, people are going to recognize her and say, hang on a minute, isn't that what's her face from that show? And they'll go, oh, and they'll put two together or whatever. Interesting that they announced her character's name though in the release, and they didn't just say she's been cast. So I think, because as far as I'm aware, in the set videos and stuff, she never gets name dropped.
No, I think it was solely done to cause the speculation that's absolutely been happening, for better or worse. Yeah. So it's just to get the conversation out there. But it will take a simple look on Twitter to find out exactly who she is if you really want to know. But I will say, don't be stupid. It's not Rose Tyler being recast. No,
and it didn't help. Quite a few, I think, media outlets jumped on and said Rose Tyler, and then very quickly, I assumed the BBC contacted them and said, "Hey, read our press release. At no point did we say Rose Tyler. Please amend your articles."
Yeah.
Because I did read a Guardian article just before this, and at the bottom it had little amends saying, "This article been changed to Rose, not Rose Tyler." So obviously quite a few articles sort of made that mistake.
Yeah, because the press release is like, another Rose? How can this be possible? I'm like, well, it's the obvious answer, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But that's it. In both of these press releases, Russell's been like, oh, what could be going on? How can the Doctor and Donna be back? Oh, what's happening? And I appreciate that. I appreciate that he's like fueling the speculation after having, years of Chibnall being like, I'm not telling you anything until the trailer comes out.
Yeah, and even then.
Yeah, and even then you got.
We still don't have a title for the centenary.
No, no. We only know how long it is because Russell let that slip. And that's about it. You don't know anything else. Which I mean, I know a lot of people have been saying that this news has overshadowed the centenary, which I don't necessarily disagree with. I think it has slightly, but at the same point,
I understand the complaints, but I will also say the centenary is 5 months away. By the time that airs, this will be so old news and people won't be talking about it anymore.
And I would have hoped by the time we get to the centenary, we'll have more
stuff. If they just announced it and we wouldn't have known otherwise, I would have been a bit like, that seems a bit harsh. But they were filming outside and they had to say something. Their hand was forced in terms of like what they had to film and where. So I think if they could have gotten away with not announcing this for another few months, they absolutely would have done it, but they had no choice.
Because I'm pretty sure that it seems like Russell's literally taken over show running now, and so he's probably in charge of every bit of media that goes out, or at least greenlighting the media that goes out. So he probably, as we sort of speculated with Shooty, we think that their hand might have been forced, maybe at that point.
I think
to announce him.
One of the editors on the centenary, I think they even post on Instagram like the edit's completely done on the centenary and it's finished. So I imagine they're all just done, that production team.
Yeah, so move it forwards, guys. Come on, what are you doing? Put it out next week, please.
Because Russell said he's seen it, so it must be done. Yeah.
So we're excited for that. Obviously, we're excited for this. We'll very quickly touch on some of the set videos that did show some other returning characters that have not officially been announced yet. I don't know why. Maybe they're just not considered big enough.
Popular character, Sean.
Yeah. First of all, Sean, Donna's wife, which obviously I don't think we
Donna's wife.
Oh my god! Twist.
They really are progressive.
Who I don't think we ever. Well, first of all, I'm shocked they managed to get the same actor back. That's a role.
He got killed off Hollyoaks like a year ago. He's available.
I guess that show's cancelled.
What is for Hollyoaks? Sorry.
No, Neighbours is cancelled. Sorry, not Hollyoaks. Sorry.
Yeah, Neighbours.
Wrong one. Wrong Channel 4. So
that's the one with Astrid in it from
Voyager. All right. Yes. But yeah, so Sean, can't remember the actor's name, sorry, is back. Everyone's favourite character, Sylvia, is also returning, Donna's mother.
Great.
Which we will see how that goes down. Maybe she's learned. Maybe she's nicer now. It has been 12 years.
I like to think so. Surely she can't be the same. Although
you would hope, wouldn't you?
I could also see her just being even worse.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And then the big return, Bernard Cribbins as Wilf. Who would have guessed? Who would have thought? I never thought this would happen. I genuinely didn't think he'd be back. Bless him, he's in a wheelchair, but he's absolutely loving life.
93 years old, and he's starring in the Centennial.
Yeah,
I say starring. He's probably
well,
filmed his stuff.
Yeah, he's probably filmed his bits, but it does, he does more than Sylvia does, I guess, in the fact that he gets shoved into the TARDIS and Sylvia stands outside. So it will be interesting to see what role he plays. Could just be a quick trip to take him home or whatever. You never know. But I'm very impressed they got him back. And as you sort of mentioned, this all does feel very 2009 specials at the minute, but we're only seeing what we're seeing because it's outside. This could only be 15 minutes, not even that, 5 minutes of the special. They could get in the TARDIS. Inside the TARDIS could be Capaldi, Smith, Karen Gillan. There could be many people in there. They could have Sean Pertwee in there playing his dad. Who knows? Who knows at this point?
He's in the UK. He's in Liverpool for a convention.
There you go. Could be confirmed.
He also said he'd never do that, but Russell said he was never coming back to showrun. So,
but money talks. Money talks.
The Gotham's finished.
He's got to get his job somewhere. Who knows? Maybe that could be the case. I'm very excited for all of this, and I'm still excited for the centenary. I want to know how it all works. It's just mind blowing. We won't necessarily discuss that here today. This was just mainly to talk about the casting news, because there's been loads more theories coming out, and it's going to require a whole separate video for us to sort of go through what's been going on and what it is. Yeah. But I'm sort of very excited to see where this is going. I think the casting so far has been great, from Shooty to Yasmin to David and Catherine coming back to everybody sort of in between. It all looks great. If you're interested in seeing the set pics, if you just search hashtag DWSR, you should be able to find it, or just search Doctor Who and go on news on Google. Plenty of outlets have sort of covered the sort of set pics that have been going around. And they're still filming in public places, I think, this week. So then more news might come out coming up.
They're supposed to be filming at a power station this week or something.
Yes, I think they filmed at Wembley at the end of last week as well. So
yeah, Catherine Tate was spotted there, I think. Yeah.
So who knows where it's going to go? Russell has said no more news, but he said that after Shooty was announced. And
he said that a week before.
Again, I can only assume that maybe they didn't agree on the location when he said that, and then he came to work on the Monday and he went, "Oh, Russell, sorry, we're gonna have to put out a release." He went, "For God's sake, guys,
I can't believe you've done this."
Because I mean, it is hard. It would be hard to close off Canada Market in the middle of the day to film a show and not have people be like, "Hang on a minute, that's Doctor Who," especially when there's a TARDIS on set. Yeah. The night shoots they might have been able to get away with because it's probably not as busy in the middle of a week, but it's London. It's always going to be busy.
Yeah, and I think the power station they're going to be filming at isn't not accessible to the public.
Decommissioned and sort of separate for filming and stuff.
You will be shocked if you try to get in.
Yeah, literally.
I assume.
You never know, but you can wait at the gates. But yeah, I'm just very excited. It's just all baffling, and I don't think I've been sort of this excited for the build-up of Doctor Who. Obviously I've been excited for when Doctor Who's coming out and when we get the trailers and all that kind of stuff. But between series, it's all been very quiet and very sort of nothing there. Whereas I think this, no matter what this is doing, you can argue whether it's taking away from the centenary or whatever, but you can argue that this is building up hype for the show, and it wouldn't surprise me if that does rub off on the centenary. It's probably doing a better job of promoting the centenary than the centenary is doing of promoting the centenary.
Yeah, they should have I think they shouldn't have put everything in the trailer for the centenary. They did, every couple of months. Ace is coming back, and then like a month later, Tegan's coming back. But at the
same time, for all we know, there's more. Russell's hinted that there'll
definitely be more
coming out, and obviously. It's probably easier when they film the centenary to keep secrets because it was during COVID restrictions. So they were probably small teams in different places, in inside locations.
Very hard to get set pics when you're in the time of COVID anyway.
Yeah,
at the best of times. So
yeah, that doesn't help. I think the main thing for this is that they were outside. They had to release something just to get ahead of the game, and it is building up hype for the show. And I hope that people that are enjoying all of this sort of excitement will tune in for the centenary and give Jodie the sort of send off that she deserves. If she is to not return in the 60th, because she could have filmed scenes that sort of link to it, similar to
Well, she's
Matt
just given
Smith's.
birth like yesterday, so
Oh
congratulations,
yeah,
Jodie.
she could quickly come back.
That
You
she's
know.
now maybe take half a day and just
Yeah. You want to go? You want to go in? Yeah, you can
you
lie
want
in the
you want
bed.
to
You
do
can lie in the
something.
bed. It's fine.
She almost immediately came back for the redacted podcast thing, reprised her role in that. So.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, I mean, Matt Smith filmed a scene for Capaldi's first episode after he regenerated, so it's not out of the realms of possibility that Jodie could have done the same. Because obviously it's the 60th, and I think we all agree it would be harsh for them to do the 60th and then not to have her back straight away.
Yeah, but I also understand if they don't do that.
Yes,
and they didn't.
Yeah,
and maybe if she didn't want to immediately come back as soon as she leaves.
Yeah.
I'd understand it, but I think it would be a shame.
Yeah, and then the 60th theories are things that we'll go into in another one, because there's been all sorts of rumors floating around about different people coming back, who's going to be next, what we're going to see, what is David Tennant's role. But either way, I think it's very exciting. And yeah, I just look forward to so much more news coming out, I guess, over the next, well, assuming it's not going to be out until next winter, which is looking unlikely over the next 18 months. But that's another thing we could talk about, whether they're going to put all these episodes out next year. Are they going to be multiple episodes? Is it just going to be the one? There's been rumors of 3. There's been rumors of it could be this winter. It wouldn't surprise me if we get another New Year's Day special, because then Russell wouldn't have lied about it being 2023.
I'd be very surprised if what they're filming right now isn't like a Christmas or New Year thing.
Yeah.
Like, to film an episode 18 months before it would air is balmy. So
unless
I think
scheduling is that bad. If scheduling is like, we can only get
unless they plan that far ahead. Yeah,
I don't know. Knowing how Russell works, I don't think that would be the case.
Depends if Shooty's contracted for Sex Education season 4 or not.
Yeah.
Maybe they had to film her on that and just wait for him to be done with that.
It could be the case, yeah. And again, we come back to it. Russell's always spoken about wanting to do multiple different spin-offs and things. You never know. This could be one of those things that spins off. We could get whatever David Tennant is going to be, could spin off in his own show.
Yeah, they haven't started filming Doctor Who yet. This is a spin-off.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
They're just saying it's Doctor Who. It's actually Class Series 2.
Oh, could you imagine if it was? What a twist.
I'd be here for it. Absolute balls to do that.
Oh, Chibnall's back to our Class Series 2. Well, hey!
They didn't even get Patrick Ness back. They just bring Chibnall in.
Understandable.
He did good stuff with Torchwood Dog Chibnall.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just give him the spin-off.
Give him that. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes for about the 100th time. I love this. I'm all in for it. Have you got any sort of final thoughts on everything that's going on?
I mean, I suppose some of my thoughts should be saved for when we do a deep dive into what on earth is going on with David Tennant's potential characters or not. But in terms of like actually getting them back in Doctor Who, with David, is absolutely a given, I think. But he should be there, I think, to celebrate when he's still,
young,
well and fit enough to do it. 51 and thriving. Can't be me. I'm already falling apart and I'm 25. So yeah, it's very exciting to have him back because he's such a big name who will forever be attached to the show. So it makes sense to get him back for the anniversary when you can. Catherine, I never thought she would ever return, but I'm so glad she is because I adored Donna. I am anxious about what it means for like her series 4 ending and her story, but again, that's something to speculate otherwise and really judge once we've seen it. But to get her back regardless, I think it's very exciting, along with like Bernard and Jacqueline and having Yasmin join the cast as well. I think it's definitely a very exciting start to proceedings for a new era. Yeah,
I think that's definitely the case. We will be back to tease you all. We will be back with some theories, probably next week, about everything that's going on. And then that also, if we wait another week, we might get some more set picks and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, that's true.
To speculate on.
Someone else will be back this time next week.
I mean, maybe, you never know. Sundays and Mondays.
I was just like checking Twitter at like 6 p.m. on Sunday. Anything? No, okay.
Maybe tonight though. Maybe tonight. Who knows? Probably not.
Sadly, Matt Smith doesn't have social media, so
no, he won't know.
Just keep refreshing Karen Gillan's feed, like please.
yeah.
Or Jenna Coleman's feed, like please.
I don't know what she would even put. A pond?
A ginger woman.
Is there a pond emoji? I don't know.
I think there is actually.
Oh, there you go. But yes, we'll be back with more speculation next week.
Matt Lucas just tweets 2 hearts plus and then an egg.
Yeah. And then this weekend we'll also be reviewing The Beast Below, which I'm sure is everybody's favorite Matt Smith episode. So please, tune in for that to see our honest opinions there. But that is it for today. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.